Hey guys, this is Comics G Man. I'm going to talk to you guys about Lantern. Specifically, I'm going to kind of go over the podcast. Now, we're not going to watch the podcast. I'll just tell you my thoughts on it. I already watched it, and I will at the end of the video show you what James Gunn said at least. But I'll let you know my thoughts on what this whole Lantern situation. Okay, so I somehow managed to get through this podcast. I didn't even watch it fully. I mean, I didn't watch it like at one sitting. I had to pause it. You know, I was working out, listening to it like yesterday, and then tonight I watched it, like maybe put it on, and then now I just finished it. Like I couldn't just do one sitting on it, not because it was like really boring. No, actually, I did like it a lot, but I just wanted to kind of really absorb it. So, you know, I don't like Tom King. This Damon Lindelof, or Lyndon Dork, as I'm saying, and Chris Mundy are new to me. I don't know who they are. But according to Nerdrotic, Lindendorf is responsible for that horrible show Watchmen that came out a long time ago now, right? I never even watched it, but I when I first saw it advertised, I'm like, that's not Watchmen. I'm not watching that. Why are you making another Watchmen show? Like, there's only been one comic. But here's the thing, right? So the podcast is kind of interesting because this is the first time that I've actually ever watched anything where Tom King is talking. And the impressions that I get from him is he's kind of a strange guy. I mean, I'm not to be mean about it, but he seems like a nice guy. You know what I mean? And they're honest enough about like killing Hal Jordan in the first episode. But like I don't know, like what they say is not enough to really make it feel like it's justified. Now, the only things that I do like what they said is because these were actually things that I thought before they said it. When I first watched episode 1, the girl who plays the sheriff in this, she made me think of Fargo with Frances McDormand. If you ever seen Fargo, great movie. So I thought it was interesting. Tom King mentioned that he was going for that Fargo feeling with her. And they were going for No Country for Old Men, which I've never seen. I heard a lot of good stuff about, but at least with Fargo, I know what they're talking about. I did watch Fargo, and that is a really good movie. And he mentioned Training Day, so 2 good movie references that they're saying they were inspired by. So I can't really talk shit about that because Training Day and Fargo are very good movies. But as for the execution of episode 1, it is not a very good hook, I feel. Like, I don't know if it's going to work for casuals. I don't know. But for comic fans, I think the only reason why it's working as a hook is because they want to see how badly they're going to fuck it up, or they really like Jon Stewart, or they want to see what they're going to do with Jon Stewart. But me personally now, I'm not that I'm not like super excited about it, but listening to the podcast, I'm kind of looking forward to it now. I mean, I think even as bad as episode 1 was, there is something interesting about this and the controversy that it's going to be causing. And I think whether, you know, I was talking to my friend that I hang out with, and he was telling me about like James Gunn and Man of Tomorrow might not even come out, and I'm like, no, that can't be true. I mean, Man of Tomorrow is definitely coming out in 2027, and he said that he's been reading all this stuff about it, that it might even shut down before 2027. James Gunn might get fired, and I'm like, oh shit, you know. And we were saying, like, you know, if this Lanterns thing like turns into like a death knell, that this could be it. Like, this could be like the final nail in the coffin that needs to start all that. Now, my friend is more of an MCU guy, like way more of an MCU guy than I am, and he doesn't really like DC that much. I'm a DCU guy. I'm with my issues and my complaints. I do not want to see Man of Tomorrow get shut down. I want to see Man of Tomorrow finished. So I'll be pretty sad if that happens. But if that happens, what are you going to do about it? But yeah, like, I mean, I had this image of Tom King and stuff as an insufferable leftist asshole. And he's not as bad as I thought he was. And he does seem to have a pretty good knowledge of comics. It's just what he chooses to do with it is what I don't like. Whether it's malevolent or he makes these decisions with the comics because, like, the DC executives are, like, giving it the thumbs up and, it's working for them somehow. I don't know. So, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, this podcast gave me a different perspective on Tom King, of all people, who I still do not like what he does to the comics. I still do not like what he did to Wonder Woman. I still do not like what he did to Supergirl. That will never change. But as a human being, I mean, he's just he doesn't seem like a terrible person. But that still doesn't excuse, what's going on with DC, in my opinion. I don't know who this Chris Mundy is. And like I said, David Lindelof, I don't know who he is. But they all seem... there's a strange atmosphere about it. It's a little phony, a little bit of a circle jerk in this podcast sometimes. I mean, you can't get away from that with these Hollywood types or whatever. And we could establish one thing. They're like kind of faggy. I mean, they all want to suck Aaron Pierre's cock. It's pretty obvious. I mean, if you watch the podcast, one part of it where, like, they're like, oh, he's this, he's that. And one of them, I think it might have been Tom King, who said he's gorgeous. I'm like, I mean, even if if you're joking, that's fine. But I don't know, dude. That's even kind of weird to say, like, as a man. I mean, you could say, like, he's very handsome, he's very manly, he's very badass, he's cool, he's very sharp, he's bold, right? You could say all these things. But to call another man as a man gorgeous, I don't know, man. I mean, women would say that, I guess, but I never hear women call men gorgeous, but maybe. But yeah, they're total fags for that. But I think they pretty much confirmed here that Kyle Chandler is killed as Hal. And we're just going to be finding out how that happens in between with the flashbacks and stuff. So I am kind of curious about that. I do like that they're inspired by Training Day and Fargo, even though this is a much more inferior version, per se. I mean, Fargo and Training Day are superior movies. Unbelievable movies, if you haven't seen them. But I would like to see if they as each episode goes, they're going to come with more of the space and more of the constructs and the Green Lantern powers. So I am sticking with the show. I subscribed to HBO Max for a year, so I ain't going anywhere, obviously. And my friend is interested in it too. I got him to watch the first episode. He wanted to see it. I'm like, you sure, man? You might not like it. It might be boring for you. He watched it, and then he wants to see the next episode next time we hang out. So I'm liking Lanterns for this. It's kind of given the controversies are interesting. The decisions they're making are kind of interesting. And it's making me question, like, where is this going to bring the DCU? Is my friend right? Will this, like, even fuck up Man of Tomorrow somehow? I hope not. But yeah, guys, like I promised you, I'll show you what James Gunn says at the end of this. Let's go to that. He starts around 46:05. Hold on, no, 46.
Tom King came up with the idea for Lantern. So when Peter and I were first hired at DC, we did sort of a writer's roundtable where I came in with a bunch of ideas for, shows and movies that I wanted to do. Things like, Superman and Man of Tomorrow, but also shows like the Jimmy Olsen,
What is he wearing? Like, dude, get into the brand. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, I'm not even working for comics or DC, but like, I'm Comics G-Man. I'm wearing a comic book shirt. What are you wearing? What is that?
garage show and things like that, and Creature Commandos, and what was going to happen in Peacemaker, and sort of a rough story. And that was when Tom King brought up this idea of creating a true detective like version of Lanterns, where they have these outer space powers, but they're, it's grounded, realistic show, and about the clash between.
I honestly feel like they chose to do that, not to spite the fans, but because of the budget. I don't think they had the budget to do the space opera stuff, man. I think they're lying. I don't think this was a creative, intellectual choice. I think this was a budget choice, a survival choice they couldn't afford anymore. So they had to get as cheap as they could. Cinematography is okay. Questionable shots the way they use the photography, though, in my opinion.
John and Hal and what that would be like. And I just thought it was just such an interesting take. I think one of the strengths of Tom King is he's able to come at these iconic characters from a slightly different perspective.
And fuck them up.
And I think that was our guiding light for the entire show from the beginning.
Man, thank you to James Gunn for taking the time out for...
That's it, dude. That's it. You're the director. And you only say something for like fucking 1 minute, and it was you literally said, he literally said nothing. He just circle jerked everybody, right? Oh, we're all so amazing. Oh, I love everybody who did this. They're so great. Tom King is so fucking great. Chris Mundy is so great. I'm so great too. Everything's so wonderful at DCU. Basic CEO American bullshit. All right, guys, so let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to get better or worse, or do you think it's already screwed and it's no saving it? Me personally, like I said, I'm curious to see where this is going to go. Anyway, I'm subscribed. I'm going to watch it through. I could see this improving. I could see this getting interesting, but I could see it getting worse. So we'll see. All right, guys, like, subscribe. Have a good rest of your night.